What's up, guys? We are at Bitcoin block height 826,285. Today is Thursday, January 18th, 2024. Now, I know you guys see the title of this video, and a lot of you guys are going to get mad at me, but hey, I got to keep it real. For those of you that don't know me, let me give you a brief introduction. My name is Jerry from Jerry Loves Freedom. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm outside the Las Vegas Athletic Club, getting ready to go into the gym. I am a finance guy. I'm 49 years old. I've been in finance for a very long time. I'm a former military man, and I was in precious metals for about, from July of 2020 until my last silver I sold was November of last year. So 3 years and 4 months, maybe, something like that, almost 3.5 years. And in that process, I put a big portion of my net worth into silver. I had a lot of gold at first, and I traded in for silver. I had some platinum too, but I had thousands of ounces of silver. So that's where I'm coming from. Now, if you go back and look at my old videos in my channel, you'll see all my videos with my silver. I will never take a video down. And the reason why is because that's not genuine. That's very disingenuous to now be into something else and pretend like I wasn't into something else. We all grow, guys. I used to have a sports YouTube channel too about basketball. I don't watch basketball anymore. I didn't delete the channel or nothing like that. I like to go back and see where I was at that moment in my life. So again, we're traveling across a timeline, and I know it's very difficult to be objective with our with our assets that we put a lot of time and effort in. And it took me a while to be objective towards silver, against silver when it comes to something else, but you got to do it because we're very biased to our to our investment. So I'm a Bitcoin stacker now, 100%. You know, I got a few little businesses here and there that pay me to own them, and I have some things that pay me. But outside of that, all my savings go to 90-something% goes to Bitcoin, and a small percent goes to cash. And the reason why I have cash is because I live in a fiat world, and if something breaks or something happens, I need to have fiat currency to cover that, because my Bitcoin, I'm not even thinking about selling it for another 10 or 15 years, even if I do decide to sell it. I don't even know if I will. I may just borrow against it. But this Bitcoin is for my long-term wealth and for generations to come. So let me get into silver real quick. I don't know what I'm going to name this video. Is it silver? Is silver a scam? I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to tell you like this. I'm a value investor. Okay, I learned that from Warren Buffett and the late great Charlie Munger. And what a value investor is when you buy things cheaper than what it's worth, right? When you get things at a discount. Like, for instance, I would buy cars, right? I'd buy houses. I still buy a lot of things, but so if I look on the books and a car is worth 10 grand, I'm talking about selling for 10 grand, not you know what people list it for. Actually sold for $10,000, and I can get that same car for $7,500. I just got 25% discount on that car. Okay, so then I'd take the car that I bought for $7,500 and I'd sell it for 9 grand. You know, 10% discount from the price that it's worth in the market, right? And so on and so forth. That's a value investor. When I first got into precious metals, it was very, and I mean very difficult for me to buy something not only not at a discount, but I'm paying more for it. For instance, silver today is whatever it is, 20-something bucks, 22 bucks. It's always 20-something bucks, even between 22 and 25 or 26 bucks. Okay. By the way, when I got into silver in 2020, it was 24 bucks, and I paid $3.50 or $4 over spot price. So I ended up paying like 28 bucks or 28-something bucks for an ounce of silver. And I was like, why am I paying this much? Anyways, when you go and buy precious metals, you're buying it over the spot price, right? And I just could not understand that in the beginning. And then my friend that put me onto it was like, well, you know, you got to pay the fees and this and that, and you know, the dealers got to get their money. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the spot price versus what you actually pay, you know, the premiums in between. I don't know what the premiums are right now, so I can't speak on that, but I'm guessing they're at least $1.50 to $3 or something. I don't know. I don't buy silver anymore, because to me it's just a complete, I'll get into that in a second. So let's just say it's $2 over, right? So that's what, 10%, 8%, 7%, or whatever you're paying. I paid up to 20%. You guys know the deal. You're not gonna get silver or gold at 1% over, unless you're buying a whole bunch and you're a wholesaler or you're a dealer or something like that. If you're buying over the counter at a dealer, from a dealer, or online or something like that, you guys know the fees, man, that you're paying up front for it. That's number one. Number two, let's keep it real, guys, okay? Does silver keep up with inflation? Well, that depends, right? It depends on what time frame you're looking at. I watched a video the other day, shit you not. This guy went into a pawn shop. Now, again, I don't suggest you sell to pawn shops, but people do it. And sometimes coin shops will do this to you too, because their spreads are something else. And let me say this before I go. Keep going with this video. I have a lot of friends in the silver community in Las Vegas here. I have 5 or 6 precious metal dealers that watch my channel. I'm not dissing you guys. I'm not trying to take away from your business or nothing like that. You guys are my boys. You guys are hustlers. You got to do what you got to do, right? So if you buy silver for $22 an ounce and you sell it for 26, I'm not mad at that at all. You got to make a living. You got to have a spread in there to pay your rent, pay your bills, your overhead, and everything else. So let me just get that out of the way, number one. Number two, I'm not talking bad to my brothers and sisters that buy silver and hold silver, okay? If that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. I'm not calling you a sucker for paying $1 or $4 or $5 over spot and saying that you shouldn't do it and this, that, and the third. I'm just giving you my experience, why I got out of silver and why I am into Bitcoin now, okay? Let me just say that clear. So when you're buying silver, you know, those spreads you're buying, it's like, you know, wow. So the inflation thing, right? The time frame depends on when you buy it. Again, when I bought it, now that's a small frame. I bought it 3.5 years ago, whatever. It was $24. Now let me go back to that that example I was using for the 10 years. The guy had it for 10 years. He had a whole bunch of eagles for 10 years. And now again, I've seen this on YouTube, but I've seen it in real life too, at pawn shops, and I've seen it at coin shops. And again, I'm not dissing you guys. The spread between what they paid for it, right? $4, $5, $6 over or whatever, and then what they sold for. So let's say you bought silver when it was $17 an ounce, and then you paid, you know, $19 or $20 or whatever you paid. You know, you made a profit or whatever. You sold it for 22 or 23. The problem is, I'll get into that in a second. So the example I saw with the guy that was 10 years, he didn't make anything. He just completely broke even, and that's not including with inflation. Okay, I think he paid $24, $25 an ounce or something like that for the eagles. You know, eagles cost more usually. And again, if you guys bought eagles when they were going crazy on those spot prices and the premiums, man, I'm sorry, I really am. But let's look at inflation, right? Let's look at not what you're getting back in the dollars, but what are you getting in the purchasing power of those dollars, right? I'm going to use my example. In 2020, $24 bought me, that was spot price now. So I paid $28. I paid $28 or $2,800 for a 1 ounce, 100 ounce bar. $2,800 in 2020 in the summer. And again, I'm picking a time frame. You can pick different time frames too, but that wasn't that long ago. Okay. Now again, I know silver was in the teens and stuff like that, but things cost a lot less than they did then. Okay. They just did. So $2,800 then could buy me a lot more than $2,800 today. Okay, what can I buy for $2,800 today? I'm just saying, man. You know, is silver a scam? If you think that it's a great hedge on inflation, and you think we're going back to money, and you think the dollar is going to collapse, and that said gold or silver is going to be used for money again, then I do think it's a scam. But if you're just using it for a savings account, it is a great savings account. Is it gonna, meaning it gives you the discipline of saving because you love that silver so much. Guys, I love it. Okay, I am a former silver addict. I'm a recovering silver addict here. Okay, I'm speaking from a guy that absolutely loves this stuff, man. But if you had to guess, if it's going to keep up with inflation, the way they're printing money, come on. You know what I mean? And think about this. Just think about this. Look how many dollars were printed in 2020 and 2021 and stuff like that. Trillions of dollars. Why isn't gold and silver keeping up with that, with those dollars being put into the system, man? I'm pausing because I'm feeling sorry for some of you guys, man. I really am. It's manipulated, ladies and gentlemen. And you guys know that. The COMEX, or what I like to call the Crimex and stuff like that. Jamie Dimon, he's at the World Economic Forum. He's one of the major spoofers of silver and stuff like that with these future contracts and everything else. I had a friend, speaking of paper, silver, I had a friend, an investor friend that I used to play poker with. I used to bring silver to the table, and I would, try to pique people's interest, and I'd give a little bit away, trying to get people to buy silver. And I said, hey, you got silver? He goes, yeah, I got some. I got a lot of silver, and I got a lot of gold. I said, oh, okay. He goes, well, I don't have the physical stuff. He goes, why would I do that? Why would I keep all that stuff in my house? I just buy it on paper. Now, me thinking, oh, man, what do you mean? If you don't hold it, you don't own it. He goes, look, Jerry, this is an older guy. He goes, do you know the risk you're taking having all that stuff at your house and stuff like that? All the money that you're paying and the fees to buy it. He says he buys it at the price. If it's $22, he buys it. He goes, if I want to turn it in, this is what he said. I don't know if you can now because I never bought paper. If I want to turn in and get the physical, I can. I'll pay a little bit of fees in between, but they'll mail it to me. Now, again, we all know that there's more paper than there is physical, but I'm just telling you what he told me. And he goes, your house is a honeypot, man, with all that silver and gold and all the money you got to pay for security and safes and all that. He goes, I just buy the paper and call it a day. And when I'm going to make a trade, I hit a button. Now, that was a hard pill for me to swallow. And that was hard for me to be objective because I had the physical stuff. Because I was, and I still am, addicted to holding the physical silver and gold. But we live in a digital world, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't held a Polaroid picture and I don't know how long. I haven't held a DVD or a VHS or a 8-track tape or a cassette tape. Everything is digital now. So if everything in the world is digital, and even now, I barely use my debit card. I don't use cash. Well, I try to use cash. But now everybody's just taking their phone and just, putting it up to the thing and paying. This is a digital world. So again, you think we're going to take 2 and 3 steps back and go to a physical heavy metal that we got off of that and started using US dollars, then we got off the US dollars, started using cards, and then we got off the cards and started using digital? You tell me. So when you walk into a silver or gold shop, guys, and you buy it, you're buying at a loss. When I buy silver, I love it. I'm so happy. And I look at the spot price and I'm like, man, I hope I can get it just a little bit over. I've never bought anything like that. I always try to buy it at a discount, but I know when you buy physical stuff, it's hard to do that with metals and assets and things like that. I get it. But with Bitcoin, I pay less than 1%. Even when I was playing with Cash App, I pay between 2.25% to like 1.75, and that's the high end. Cash App is very high to buy Bitcoin. I remember the days that I didn't feel like going to the coin shop, and I wanted to buy an asset, and I buy. By the way, I buy Bitcoin every day. Now, I'm not trying to sell you on this, but I do have a link, a Swan link. If you want to buy Bitcoin, you get $10 free. I don't care if you don't have to click the link, but if you're enjoying my content and you want to help the channel, I do have an affiliate link down there. You'll get $10 free Bitcoin. You can buy through Swan if you want. You don't have to. You can buy whoever you want, wherever you want. I don't care. Okay, just study it, and then once you learn it, buy it. But I remember the days when I didn't feel like going to buy precious metals and getting up and going to the coin shop or whatever. I just turn over and I just bought some Bitcoin and just hit the button and then take it off the exchange and put it into my cold storage. And that's it. Now, for Swan, if I buy $500 of Bitcoin, I pay $49, I think. Whatever less than 1% is. Because $50 would be 1%. It's like $49.50 or something like that. It's like 0.95 or 99 or something like that. There's places you can get it even cheaper. You know? But again, you know, because, you know, exchanges got to make their money and stuff like that. But with physical silver, I mean, the losses you're taking. And not only that, with Bitcoin, if you look at Bitcoin in a 4-year cycle, because remember, you're looking long term with precious metals and Bitcoin. If you look at a 4-year cycle, it's not even close. Bitcoin is killing precious metals over the long term and holding its value versus the US dollar. Again, in the summer of 2020, I paid it was $24 an ounce. Now today is 22 or whatever it is. Even if it's 24 or 25, it still doesn't keep up with the inflation and the purchasing power of those said dollars. So it pains me to say these things, man, because I'm thinking about myself, but I'm glad I made that journey. And I had to look at things objectively, even though I had the silver. But once I started buying Bitcoin and started my holdings of Bitcoin started catching up with my silver, I could start looking at things objectively. So I'm going to give you guys advice. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, how to save your money. I'm not telling you to sell your silver or anything like that. But what I am telling you is take a hard look at Bitcoin and study it. And I'm telling you guys, if you're buying silver for the long term and you're looking for a savings, a hard savings, not just the discipline of savings to keeping it, but to keep your purchasing power, the best way to save that, your hard-earned money, because you work hard for your money, man. The best way to save it, and to me, the only way to save it, is through Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.